Hey gang, Rockin Robbie here for Pop Culture Philosophers, and it's that time of the week, time for the weekly comic book review. Alright gang, weekly comics, what I read this week, what I thought about them. It was kind of a slow week. We got the 5th Wednesday blues, but I had no problem finding some books to read and talk about. First of all though, I want to get to a book called Black Speck #2, written by Lance W. Allen and drawn by Claudio Munoz, and inks by Amanda Whitley, with colors and letters by Allen and Whitley as well. This book is awesome, and it's edited by me. That's right, this is my first official comic book work. It's self-published. Issue 2 hit stands today. I'm incredibly proud of this book, incredibly proud of the team. They really put their heart and souls in this project. It's an all-ages sci-fi tale. It's really, really good for children and for adults. It's very colorful, it's very fun, and yeah, I'm a little bit biased, but I love this book. If you're in town in Huntsville, Alabama, you can pick up copies at the Deep Comics and Games. Otherwise, you can check out copies down at Comixology, and of course on Gumroad. Links down below, and if you check it out, we appreciate it, and let us know what you think. Anyway, on to the comic books. We start with the pick of the week, Superman Annual #1. You guys know I love Superman. Tomasi Gleason, they've been killing it on Superman. This is a fantastic annual. It's basically Superman versus the Swamp Thing. It's a fantastic book full of action and mystery with a little bit of intrigue. It's got great art by Jorge Jimenez, but what's really cool is if you notice in one of the early Superman Rebirth issues, I think it's Superman Rebirth, he touches the ground, Superman does, and it's glowing blue. What is that all about? A little bit about what that is in this issue, so it's cool, it's relevant about this new Superman's place in the new DC Rebirth universe. It's a great book, check it out. Highly enjoyed the Superman books right now, and that book is just a treat. One-shot issue, you can read that if you haven't read anything before. It's awesome. I want to talk about this DC New Talent Showcase. Kind of disappointing. The big thing that disappointed me in this book is I thought they were going to be a bunch of little short stories, but they're more like little pilots, like little we hope that this picks up. And there's some cool little things in there. There's some really cool art. The first story has some amazing art by a guy named Saya Oum, I can't see. This book's okay. I don't really know if you're going to want to spend the $8 on it, but it is cool to check out some new talent, new writers, new artists, up-and-coming guys and gals, and they're in there, so that's pretty cool. Batman Annual #1. It is the 5th week, so no real new DC books, but we did get these annuals. This Batman Annual is okay. It's a bunch of short stories, a bunch of Christmas short stories. The second one by Scott Snyder, Ray Fox, and Declan Shavley is my favorite by far, Silent Night. I really liked that one. Ace the Bat Hound fans, you're going to want to pick this book up. Let's move on to some Marvel books. Ghost Rider, of course, Robbie Reyes, Ghost Rider, the one with the cool car. He's been featured in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so they got to bring him a new book. Well, it didn't work last time. I don't think it's going to work this time. I really liked the last book at first when Tradd Moore was doing the art, and he does do a backup story in here, and that's kind of neat. But overall, this really didn't do anything for me. It was all right. Huge Ghost Rider fans, especially Robbie Reyes fans, you definitely want to pick it up for that. But otherwise, it's just kind of lackluster. Nothing really big. But it was better than this. Inhumans vs. X-Men #0 is, in my opinion, garbage. This is so boring, it's so dumb, and it's like Death of X again. You know, it's the continuation of that story. The Inhumans versus the X-Men. It's like Marvel is trying to shoehorn the Inhumans in so hardcore as the new X-Men. They got a failed movie, it's going to be a TV show now. They're trying to get X guys to like the Inhumans, and I just don't, it feels forced, and I love the Inhumans. I'm a big Fantastic Four fan. Not the Inhumans, I don't know, it just something doesn't feel right, and I'm really worried about the current state of the X-Men books at Marvel, because Marvel needs to have a really good, solid X-Men line in order to have a good, solid company. And I think that's just true throughout most of the 90s and 2000s and into today. They really need to focus in on the X-Men stuff, and the Resurrection stuff just not really shaping up. And you know, the X-Men Blue and Gold announcements were this week, and not thrilled with those teams, with those creative teams or the character teams. Anyway, Marvel does kill it with Black Widow. #8 came out this week. Mark Waid, Chris Samnee, This is a great issue. You know, they tell a story, but each issue is its own thing. So you could just pick this up and read it, but it's really cool, really sleek, very stylish. It's seriously sequential superhero storytelling at its best. This book is a treat. Miss Marvel is something I usually really like. This is number 13. G. Willow Wilson does a fantastic job with this character. She's a great writer. Miss Marvel's a cool character, Kamala Khan. This issue's all right. It's going to be a little preachy for a lot of you people. I agree with a lot of what they're talking about. It does seem a little unfortunate, the timing, because it comes, you know, a week or two after the election. This had been really cool about a month before the election, but this is a go out and vote, your vote matters, all that kind of stuff. It's kind of inspiring, but 2 weeks after the election, it didn't really inspire me. It just kind of made me sad, actually, thinking about things. And Old Man Logan, number 14. We're going to talk a lot about Marvel, because there is Marvel books that I read, because Marvel's got some solid stuff. They just overall have been kind of disappointing this year. Old Man Logan is a pretty fun book. Andrea Sorrentino takes a break, and we got art by Felipe Andrade. Stuff is really good. It's got the Legion of Monsters, or my bad, the Howling Commandos. They're in it. A cool story involving Jubilee and Dracula. Of course, Jubilee is a vampire now. I love Dracula, love Jubilee, love Old Man Logan. This book has been pretty solid. It's the best X book out there. Jeff Lemire's doing a good job. Sorrentino's artwork is usually good. And this Andrade guy, this stuff is fantastic. The artwork is really cool, creepy, and it fits the story. I like that a lot. There was a new one, and when I was a kid, I was a huge fan of Mask. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like Mobile Armored Strike Command. That's right. Command starts with K to make it fit with Mask. Anyway, Mask number 1. Of course, IDW just did the Revolution thing where all the Hasbro licenses are in a shared universe together now. And so they're launching Mask number 1. I was a huge fan of Mask, the toys, the cartoon. This book didn't really do much for me. It's kind of boring, kind of dumb. Exactly what I expect from IDW licensed books. It's not that they're overly just bad. It's just there's nothing exceptional about them. Like super hardcore fans of Transformers and G.I. Joe, you're gonna love this stuff. The Turtles is the best IDW licensed book in my opinion. No, Jim. Anyway, Mask. It's all right. It's kind of cool seeing the redesigns, and I like the characters, but it's kind of stagnant. It's stale. It just sits there. It doesn't really move at all. Another thing that just sits there and doesn't really move me, and I'm kind of disappointed in it, is 7 to Eternity. 7 to Eternity is written by Rick Remender. It's on issue 3 that comes out this week. It's got amazing art by Jerome Opeña. The artwork is amazing. I love Opeña's artwork. And Rick Remender, I think he's really good reading his stuff in big chunks. Deadly Class is typically the only Remender book that I can really get into issue to issue. So I'm going to keep reading it. I'm going to read all 4 issues once they come out together, the first arc, and see what I think fully then. But I mean, I know what's happened in issue 1 and 2, but I don't really have a connection with the story or the characters. So it doesn't really hit me as hard as I would want it to, because I love Opeña's artwork. Romulus number 2 from Image and / Top Cow came out this week. If you remember my review about number 1, it blew me away. I absolutely loved it. This one goes down a little bit. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad at all. I would definitely think that if you picked up 1 and liked it, you should check out issue 2. We're gonna see where it goes. Issue 3 is going to be very important to this series, because issue 3 is going to make or break this for me. Still like the art. It's cool, crisp. There's some unfortunate costuming in it. I hope they move away from that. But otherwise, a pretty decent, strong woman story. I mean, I like that stuff. And everybody knows I'm a big Power Rangers fan, so let's wrap up with Power Rangers number 9. I'm going to mention this because Power Rangers is not the greatest book. You know, I like it because I'm a big Power Rangers fan, but it's not the greatest. Honestly, I couldn't recommend this book unless you're a hardcore P-Dubs fan. Number 9 is very interesting. The Black Dragon story kind of comes to an end. They find a way to defeat him, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but there's a new ranger from this era of Mighty Morphin, gets debuts, and it's very intriguing, especially to fans of the character of Tommy Oliver. It's got a really cool ending. Definitely check that out if you're a Power Rangers fan. But those are some of the books I read, and Marvel's got some good stuff. Miss Marvel's a little preachy, but Black Widow is fantastic. Check out that Superman annual, especially if you're a Swamp Thing fan. It is seriously, logically, it's one of the best Swamp Thing Superman fights ever. It goes exactly how I would anticipate it to go. But those are some of the books, and don't forget, Black Speck from Dance Panda Comics, L.W. Allen, Whitley, Munoz, and myself. Links down below. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Let me know down below, actually, what you read this week. What did you like? What did you not like? I'm very interested in knowing what you guys read, since I share with you what I read. But please do like and share this video. Thank you for everything, and be sure to subscribe, and we'll be back next week for another weekly comic book review. And just don't forget to check us out at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts, blogs, top 5 lists, a whole lot more, guys. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for rocking with us.